Of course, every single time that I want to make a video about something I really care about, I'm always sick. It never fails. It feels like, as you can see, I'm not lying. It feels like every single time that I see something on the internet that has me genuinely hyped or genuinely stoked to see it in action, in film, or in whatever I want to cover it in, I can't do it because my body is like, get down! Can you stay down? And I don't know. I don't know how to combat it. I don't know. All right, the Crunchyroll Anime Awards actually happened, and I won't lie, I have seen a few spoilers here and there. I was interested in it. I mean, I didn't know if I was even gonna cover it, but I saw that Solo Leveling took home an award, or took home a bunch of awards that people really weren't agreeing with, especially since it's Solo Leveling season 1, not season 2. That's for the next year's awards. I mean, for the shows I know were the nominees, Solo Leveling season 1 beat it? I don't know. I do know there are other shows that did win some awards that I'm very happy about. Obviously, if you look down in my channel, you'll see the ones that I'm really happy about, obviously. Look Back won an award too. I'm pretty sure Film of the Year, and I think that's very much well-deserved. But without further ado, let's get into this list and see if is there anything that I don't agree with, things that I do agree with, just my takes on everything as a whole at the end of this. And yeah, let's just get straight into this. Your 2025 winners. As a prerequisite before I even get into this, come on guys. The most popular anime shows normally take the cake, and that's gonna happen every single year. The year that Demon Slayer won over some stuff that it promptly should have lost to, the other years, Crunchyroll is normally like popular takes the cake every single time. And with this year, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be that much different, but with certain ones, I want to say it looks like it's changing a little bit. You know, maybe people that really feel like their show was good are starting to win more. And yeah, but let's just go down to the ones that we kind of care about. I do want to give a brief appreciation to everybody that's not speaking English and not speaking Japanese. I'm only going to care about people that speak English and speak Japanese because I watch it in Japanese and I also watch it in English, you know. So the people that won both of those are the people that I'm going to really care about. In terms of like Spanish, good job to him or her, good job to her or him, good job to, you know, the people that are doing these other voices like Italian, Hindi, Spanish. I don't know why Spanish is so far down the list. I feel like that's a secondary language. I feel like people mostly know Spanish besides like Japanese over Japanese. I mean, I guess it's anime, but you know. But when we get to right here, for the people that don't know me and the people that get on my channel, people that's probably gonna be first time viewers on this video, probably have no idea or have no care in the world that I want to be a voice actor myself. Right now, I can't show you any of my voice acting chops because I'm sick, but if I were able to, I mean, it doesn't really matter if I were or if I weren't, because this is where I want to be. I want to see my name, even if I don't see my name right here, I want to see my name right here, bro. I want to be one of the best voice actors to be in this job, in this industry. You feel me? And let's not to get too far ahead of myself. For the nominees, bro, everybody right here deserves to be here, bro. For as long as I've been watching anime, Dub has been the second sibling or the first sibling. I don't remember the joke. It's like one of the siblings is the worst one and the parents never look at that one. These guys and girls deserve their flowers. AJ Beckles did such a great job as Okurum that it's unheard of. Alex Lee has been on a sensational run, whether it be with Sungjin Woo, whether it be with the person from Tokyo Revengers, whether it be the person Zenetsu. Like, Alex Lee has been on a generational run when it comes to voice acting, and I'm so happy that he's the one who took home the trophy. But if it was AJ Beckles, Jesse James, Marilee, Sarah, or some, like, come on, all of these guys and gals deserve to be here. Despite what you may think, Dub is not that bad. I honestly, like, I'm gonna get into the industry and make it even better than it ever has been, but these guys have been on a roll. AJ Beckles, bro, it made it hard for me to watch Danadon not in English is what I'm trying to say. It made it hard for me not to watch the dub because of the chemistry that the dub actors have with each other. And then Alex Lee as Gigi coming in doing his like stuff there too. Like the voice acting for dub has been tremendous lately, and these guys are really to thank for that. Pretty good. I just got into the Apothecary Diaries, so I cannot talk about it at all. I'm not knowledgeable. I don't know anything really. I know, you know why I really got into it, just so I could talk about it in a video. I'll be honest, you caught me. That's all I'm really talking about it for. But I will say, for the clips that I have seen where she sips from the cup and it's like, it's poison. You know, that clip is really good, and her voice acting is good. I won't lie to you. Like, it's a very good comedy right now, and is what I see it for. It's, well, not really though, because there is some very dark things going on there. And well, dark in terms of the modern era. Like, we don't look at people like they looked at people back then, and this show is about how they looked at people back then. The only other person that I could have really said that deserves this is Frieren. Frieren, the voice acting, well, not Frieren in general, the person who voiced her, Frieren's voice in Frieren was amazing. I mean, the emotion behind her crying and saying like, I miss my old party, and then how she treats Fern and how she treats Stark, and just like the little giddy times, and especially when she gets trapped in the chest. Like, you gotta think, as a voice actor, these things are hard to mimic, you know? You ever been trapped in a chest before? I don't think you understand how hard it is to make a trapped in a chest noise. Like, what do you even do for that? How do you practice? How do you practice? Like, what? So to see people like this, I think Momo is really good, Okurum is really good, Delicious in Dungeon, like, all of these people deserve to be here. I don't know what Brave Bang, I don't even, Braven? Burvern? I don't know what that is. I won't lie to you. But they probably deserve to be here too. Kenichi, I'm pretty sure I've seen his name before, like a million times, so he most likely deserves to be here as well. Solo Leveling taking another championship home in his best anime ending sequence. I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. In terms of endings, wasn't really that great. 99 is really remembered for his banger opening. Like, people all around the town really know about 99's crazy opening, but the ending, I mean, it was good in terms of like music and style and presence, you know. But I won't lie, bro. Solo Leveling might actually deserve this one, because what were you always mad at when Solo Leveling episode ended? That fucking ending. But it was a banger. The one that goes that one, I mean, it made you mad, but when you watched to the end of the episode and you saw it, you were like, oh. Hello, okay. You're like you couldn't contain yourself when you finally got there. Boshi was pretty good. Oshinoko, I do need to get into that as well. I think that was pretty good. Ranma 1/2 is too old for anybody to really care, and the Elusive Samurai is either too old or too new for people to care as well, I feel. And they were good, but if you weren't Kaiju number 8, I don't think they really had a good shot at winning the best ending sequence. Now, best anime opening. Looking at the list, One Piece, you know, that one was pretty good. Solo Leveling, pretty good. Oshinoko, I don't know. Bling Bang Born, and Abyss. Abyss was really good to me because I'm a rocker boy. You know, if you've seen my bastard opening reaction, then you know how I feel about Rockstar openings. But Abyss was not close. Fatal was not close. Level was not close. And the only people that really had a chance to win this award was Bling Bang Born and Us from One Piece. Us from One Piece only had a chance because of how sentimental it was, because of how much you felt like you were close to the cast at that point. But in terms of like music, come on, Bling Bang Born and Otonoke, bro, both of these shows had some of the most banger openings I've ever seen in anime, and they both came from the same people. I don't know, maybe it's a group difference, but it just they hit different. I won't lie to you. Like, Danadon got me up out of my seat every time I clicked on the opening, and then I reacted to the Bling Bang Born one, and it got me out of my seat, and Morse Critical was dancing to it, so you know it was a hit. I think it's kind of crazy that Both of the openings that were really good from this season came from the same people. There's something about that just hits different. As a band or as a group, I feel like that holds more weight, you know? Like, I feel like, because nothing else was close to me. Other than One Piece, and that's only because of how loyal I am as a One Piece fan, I don't even think it was close. That opening was good, but I don't even think it was close. Like, Bling Bang Boy should have won, or Don should have won, and it's not even like up for debate. Best anime score. Now, when I think about the best anime score, I think about the OST, and yeah, I don't know. Out of Jesus, my hair is trying to get in my mouth. Out of the OSTs that I really heard, I mean, Bleach always goes hard in the OST department. Don kind of got annoying after a while, I won't lie. Like, when Okarun transformed for the first time, I felt like that music was in the way more than it was there to really compliment Okarun transforming. That's my honest opinion. I don't know if I said that in my reaction to the first 3 episodes or whatever it actually happened, but when it first happened, I was like, ugh, you know, I didn't really like the music. And Look Back never really gets remembered for its music, more so about the emotions that it brings. Solo Leveling, I think about OSTs, I don't think about Solo Leveling. Frieren, I think out of all of these shows, Demon Slayer, Frieren, Bleach, I hate for Demon Slayer to win an award, but Demon Slayer was a better choice than Solo Leveling. Frieren was a way better choice than Demon Slayer, and Bleach probably should have took this one home. I'm not caught up to the 1,000-Year Blood War, but just off the things that I'm looking at right now, because I'm catching up to Bleach right now. I've never seen Bleach, but I'm in season 3 right now, and I can say that every time there's a theme going on, I mean, you know those piano keys like the back of your like freaking hand if you've ever seen Bleach, and you know exactly which ones I'm talking about. I'm probably having them play right now, and you know where this is from. Like, it doesn't have to get in your head for you to really, like, you've probably seen it on TikTok, you probably seen it on YouTube Shorts. It doesn't matter, you know what this is from, and if they have any of that in the 1,000-Year Blood War, you know, it's too iconic to not let it win. Now, is that playing favorites and playing the popular tag? I think so, yeah, but when it comes to Solo Leveling Season 1, Look Back, which nobody remembers for the music, Frieren, which had some of the most beautiful scenes incorporated in art style and music, Demon Slayer, which just went hard on animation and music. I mean, that's what you remember Demon Slayer for, it's animation, right? Don kind of got annoying, like I said, and Bleach is just iconic. I don't know, I feel like this is the only one that I, so far, have had a problem with. I feel like when this came on my screen, like when I was in the lab voting for somebody, I chose Okarun, I won't lie to you. I guess it was like recency bias, but in all honesty, I should have chose Frieren. I mean, when you think about the stuff that you see in Frieren and the little antics that she gets up to, it's just like hard not to want to protect her. It really got trending on Twitter to protect her at all costs. And if you lewd her, even though she's a super high level in terms of age elf, you shouldn't, you know, it's not something that you should do. But Anya, I think Anya is probably the best choice. She's cute, she needs to be protected, she's behind an assassin and a spy at all times. It just feels like Anya is the best choice here. Best supporting character, I don't feel like it was fair because they had Fern and Himmel. It feels like they kind of tried to sabotage Frieren because now you're splitting up votes between Himmel and Fern, but we didn't get to see Himmel enough for him to win, so Fern was probably the obvious choice. I feel like people, in terms of the show, if you watch the same thing that I watched, Fern was probably top 10 characters in that show, and I maybe even say top 5, and maybe even top 3, and maybe even top 2 and not 2. I don't know. Jinchi was pretty good in the Apothecary Diaries. I'm just now, like I said, getting into the Apothecary Diaries, and I think Jinchi is a great character. You know who my vote went to? I had to. I'm sorry. I folded so fast. I folded so quick. Ooh, I just saw her name and I dang near had to change my pants. Ooh. Of course I voted for Sayako. What do you, I play more for rivals, bro. You know what kind of person I am. Again, since she doesn't really need to be protected in terms of like background supporting characters, I feel like the elf sister was really the one that more people looked at and more people liked. And then Turbo Granny, bro. Turbo Granny? Like, I guess, but when you think about Donadon, you don't think about, you don't think about her that much. You don't think about her more than Seiko or Aira or Gigi or Momo, or I guess Momo and Okura are the main characters, but come on, really? Best main character going to Sung Jin-woo. I don't know, bro. Like, if there was anything for Hibino Kafka to actually win, it should have been this. In terms of all of the main characters that are here, it's really out of Kafka, Frieren, and then Sung Jin-woo. Sung Jin-woo was a great character. I mean, for what he was meant to be in the show, he's meant to be this zero to hero kind of character, you know, the one that you've seen a million times in every other anime. A person who comes from nothing, a weak ass character who then builds himself to be something way more than that. But when you put him on the terms of Frieren, he gets blown out of the water. Frieren's emotional value, I mean attack value, knowledge in terms of the world, in her age, I feel like just like everything about Frieren was set up to be this amazing character from the get-go. We didn't know anything about Frieren, but we were crying because she was. But Hibino Kafka not winning this award is crazy to me. It makes me feel like a lot of people did not watch Kaiju number 8. Hibino Kafka's story was just as bad or sad as Sung Jin-woo's. Yeah, he didn't die, get his arms and legs chopped off, but at the same time, you gotta remember, like, he had a childhood friend who had the same dream as him to defeat all the kaiju, and he got left behind. He's this old ass man now, and the only way he can really get close to her is becoming a monster that he's trying desperately to kill. Is that not like crazy? Like, Sung Jin-woo became a playable character instead of an NPC. This guy became an outright demon, and he started peeing through his nipples. Like, I feel like anybody that has to pee through their nipples deserves more sympathy than a dude who's just out here beating monsters and farming them to become this super omnipotent person. I mean, like I said, I don't even put Sung Jin-woo over Frieren, but for Frieren to get snubbed and Hibino Kafka to get snubbed, man. I mean, Okura and Momo, I don't feel like got enough, you know, out of their show for them to really win this. When you look back at Danadon, you see a romance, and most people overlook romances. You know, it is a shonen, but at the same time, you're never really looking at the shonen aspect of it. You're looking at what Okura and Momo got going on together, and then maybe a demon or a ghost or an alien pops up, and then that's what really happens there, you know, or something to do with Okura's balls, and you know, you really don't care about what these two characters really have going on, you know. You care about their love, you care about what they're fighting, you know? And then Mao Mao, I haven't got into the show enough to really know Mao Mao as a character. Right now, I see the show as a comedy, like I said, so I haven't had the really chance to judge them as harshly as I could possibly want to. I mean, but in terms of top 3, I'm going Kafka, Frieren, and then Sung Jin-woo at the very minimum. And maybe once I get more into the show, I might even put Mao Mao above him and Okura and then Momo right on top of him. I mean, I feel like Sung Jin-woo as a main character is good, but not better than those two, you know? Best slice of life anime, I really did not get in my romance and slice of life bag this year or last year, whatever you want to say. And I really don't know too much about anything on this list other than My Dear Friend Nakotan. And I'm gonna go on a limb and say, with the shows that are here, most of these shows getting to season 2, season 3, My Villain Days Off is here. Maybe this one is deserved. I honestly have no idea. I mean, I want My Dear Friend Nakotan to be in the running, but with how badly it dropped the ball when it got really deep into the show, I don't think so. I mean, and it doesn't even feel like a slice of life anime to me. It feels like a comedy that went wrong almost. It felt like they wanted you to care too much about Dear, and then they wanted you to care too much about the relationship of the characters, and then they wanted you to laugh at their jokes that weren't funny. And sometimes they were funny, like when she was hanging on a street pole with her antlers. That was pretty funny at like the start of the episode. But once it got deeper and deeper into it, it felt like they lost the plot almost. It felt like you don't really know what you're watching. At least that's how I felt about the show. And if that's how that show went, I think anything here really beats that. I don't know, but like I said, I don't know. Shout out to Too Many Losing Heroines getting this because it probably deserved it. I truly don't know. Best drama anime going to Frieren. I think that this was really deserved. My roommate seems to think the Apothecary Diary should have won this. In terms of like everything else here, the only thing that I think probably deserved this a little bit is probably the Apothecary Diaries or Oshinoko. I mean, Oshinoko was great enough to get a second season as fast as it did, because Oshinoko, I feel like, had season 1 and season 2 immediately after. Like, we don't normally see that. That's not a normal thing. I mean, I'm a ReZero fan. I've had to wait 4 years in between every single one of the seasons. Do you understand that? Like, yeah, we get a Vincent Chainsaw thing here and there, but 4 years? I'm 23 now. You know the age I was when I first watched ReZero? I don't know, bro. So for Oshinoko to get a season 2 that fast is really mind-boggling, but Frieren was different. The action scenes in this show, the drama between every single character. I mean, Fern and Stark have their own little thing going. Frieren has her thing going with her new people and with the people that she's forgotten in the past. Not forgotten, but the people that she's lost. Like, it's never ending for her, and it feels more like torment than it feels like a fleeting memory sometimes, and that's dramatic. I wouldn't want to go through that. Yeah. As a ReZero fan, you know, I polish that apple. Tastes good. I don't know, bro. ReZero winning an award in a big 2025 is not something I could have predicted, but it is something I'm super happy to see. And when you really look at the list, it's impossible for it not to win, you know? The only thing on this list that I think ReZero could have lost to is Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Core 1, whatever you want to say. Season 2 of Mushoku Tensei was a godsend. The Father's Day episode, like that's all I have to say. That alone, that one episode alone made me rate, it improved the stocks of Mushoku Tensei to up there, bro. I don't even know where the stocks are anymore. Mushoku Tensei was the only thing in the running that I really felt fear from. I love Konosuba. I dropped season 3 a little bit after the Big Brother thing started happening. It weirded me out. I'm gonna go pick it back up. I know that I'm being too sensitive when it comes to that, but when Kazuma started getting called Big Brother, it just really weirded me out. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know. They're just fictional characters. It shouldn't weird me out so much, but it gave me the ick. I was just like, oh, stop calling him that. Why is he chasing her with his boxers out right now? What's happening? You know? And it didn't feel like the good old, like, you know, usual Konosuba to me. It felt like it pushed the perviness and the ecchi all the way to the max. I know he was still in panties before. I know darkness, the whole thing is a masochist, but it's just something about it. It didn't feel right to me. Shangri-La Frontier, actually very good. I won't lie to you. Shangri-La Frontier was amazing. When you look at, like, okay, Suicide Squad Isekai, bro, it was ass. Like, I love Harley Quinn. I love everybody on the Suicide Squad. I love the Suicide Squad as an idea. I hate the Joker every time he's there, and I feel like that's why I was looking to hate this show, because I knew the Joker was gonna be involved and was gonna get fucked up somehow, and because I love the Joker. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I love the Joker, and I feel like that's really why the stocks got so much lowered. But the show was just some hot garbage on top of all of that. And then that time I got reincarnated as a slime was literally Chair Simulator this season. I don't know what's going on with it. I literally couldn't get past another meeting, bro. It felt like I was in a Skype call with my granny, like, and she was talking about the world's driest biscuits for 9 hours. I did not want to sit through that anymore. So the top 2 things that should have won this, I feel like won. If anything was to beat ReZero, it should have been Jobless Reincarnation. It should not have been anything else. Shangri-La, if it would have won, I would not have been mad, but then I would have gotten mad when I thought about it later, you know? But ReZero winning this? Yeah, I like that. I think it deserves this one. Like, when you really think about it, the action that's in 99 is really so silly that you don't really think of it as real action. You think of it like as a plot point, and I know all action is a plot point, but you think of it way differently than you think of the action that's in Solo Leveling, you know? I mean, even if this is only season 1, the fight with him and the spy agent, the fight with him and the other brutes that led that other bigger brute to get on his trail to begin with, the fight that happened in the first dungeon they ever went into, well, that we seen, it was crazy. And in terms of action, there's not too many shows that are on Solo Leveling's level. And that's not a pun intended, but man, I'm telling the truth when it comes to this. Windbreaker, in terms of action, like, we gotta think about action. Kaiju number 8 had great action. Demon Slayer, the training arc, did not have that great of action, if we're being honest. Like, it's a training arc season. It wasn't meant to have great action. It had great action, but it didn't have solo leveling action. It did not have Windbreaker level action. And I know I'm harshing on Demon Slayer, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of like everything that's going on, the only 2 things that I feel like should have won this were Bleach and solo leveling. And I didn't see too much from Bleach to really say that it should have won. So I think solo leveling, it kind of deserved this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. Best comedy anime, Mashle, Magic, and Muscles. I feel like this one is kind of deserved. Delicious in Dungeon had some great comedy aspects, but you weren't really there for the comedy. You were there for the Delicious in Dungeon. Konosuba, like I said, I dropped it. I don't know how funny it got, because she was calling him Big Brother every 5 seconds, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I clicked off that anime so fast, and I never picked it back up again. I want to talk about it in a long form review, but it's just something about this season that was just like weirding me out. Ranma 1/2. For the stuff that I seen, it was pretty good. Not better than Mashle, but it was pretty good. Spy X Family, I feel like is up there, you know, in terms of like comedy, in terms of like what we're really seeing, like Anya punching the dude. I mean, I feel like Spy X Family is really up there in terms of comedy, but again, you're not really there for the comedy. You're there for how will these 3 things coexist: a telepath, assassin, and a spy. You're not really there for the hee-hee-ha-has. I mean, some people are, but when you think about Spy X Family, what do you really think about? You're thinking about the funny, or you're thinking about the fact that these 3 things are coexisting with each other, and you're trying to see how they will do that, you know? Romance anime goes to Blue Box. Ooh, you know, if we were going in terms of like manga, it's not even close to any of these. You know, Blue Box deserves this hands down, and I feel like that's why Blue Box won. Because if we're going on terms of like what we're seeing here, what we're really seeing here, like looking at the different angles, the Dangers in My Heart probably should have took this. A Sign of Affection probably should have took this. I mean, I'm sorry for coughing on you guys, but Ranma 1/2 could have even took this if we're talking about Blue Box Season 1. Blue Box Season 1, look, I know you manga fans. I know you're typing away. You're breaking your fingers typing on the keyboard, but when you look at what we had in Blue Box Season 1, was it really better than the other options? You know, was it really better than what we had on the side of it? You know, best background art in an anime goes to Frieren. I agree with this one. I mean, the only other one that really could have came close is Demon Slayer. Yeah, I don't think the Apothecary Diaries really had that great of a background. Delicious in Dungeon. Whew. Ship's Kiss. Probably should have taken this one. Delicious in Dungeon probably should have taken this one. I mean, in terms of background art, a dungeon anime? You don't think a dungeon anime had better background art? Come on, tell me the truth. I feel like these 2 were neck and neck, and it had to go with Frieren, but just because it's a little bit more popular. Because Delicious in Dungeon had some great background art. It's a dungeon anime. Like, I don't know if that's a nerd in me really like yelling at you guys, but it's a dungeon anime. You don't think the nerds are gonna go 10 times as hard for a dungeon anime? Come on, like it. I don't know, but Frieren had some stellar art. I won't sit here and lie to you. The world building of Frieren was top notch. Every single place that they ventured to, every single place that they went to. I mean, even in the battles, They made sure they drew everything in the background as crisp as they possibly could, and it came out spectacularly. But in terms of Delicious in Dungeon, I feel like they did the same thing, and they're both going neck and neck for me in terms of art. And I don't know about Pluto enough to really judge Pluto. So in terms of best background art, if anything else was going to win, it would be Delicious in Dungeon. But since Freer won, I ain't got no problem with that, I guess. I don't know. Best director. I'm not gonna lie to you. My One Piece fan in me is kind of singing. I'm not gonna lie, the fan letter was some of the best shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you at all. The One Piece fan letter was amazing, you know, and I'd hate to give away such an amazing trophy to somebody who only did one episode of something. But and for the people that don't watch One Piece, you don't really understand how much peak the One Piece fan letter is. The One Piece fan letter has nothing to do with the One Piece like crew, Luffy, none of them. It has nothing to do with them. Well, not really nothing, but it's literally from a fan's viewpoint. The people on the outside, how they view the Straw Hats, how they view the people that are sailing the seas, how they view those people as either villains, as either heroes, and how they talk about them in saloons, bars, on the street, just seeing them do their antics and then having their little sidebar chit chats, you know, like, and I feel like the One Piece fan letter probably should have won this. It should have took it home. Maybe it shouldn't have, because the One Piece fan letter was only just the One Piece fan letter. You know, it wasn't a whole thing. Now, for a whole entire anime, I would have been cool with anybody winning this. All these people, every single director here, did they shit, or else they wouldn't be here. So, anybody that wins this, I'm gonna say yippee for, because, you know, they all deserve it. Yeah, I mean, all these shows, I feel like, have hit major billboards, major things. They have done great things in terms of the anime itself. And I feel like every single one of these directors deserved that. Best character design going to Dandadan. It deserved it. Like, if you didn't watch Dandadan, I could see why you say it doesn't deserve it. But in terms of character design, the Apothecary Diaries, bro, they got the most generic characters in all of anime. I'm not giving it to them. Kaiju number 8, bro, their main character is a black-haired dude with some lightning bolts on his freaking face, bro. Get out of here. Frieren has some good character design, but the best design character I feel like in Frieren is Stark. I don't, and honestly, they're basic. I mean, the show itself is great, but character design is not where Frieren really sets itself apart. Like, him was an amazing character. You think I'm looking at his beautiful blue hair and going, oh my God, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Demon Slayer has amazing character design, especially since it showed off all of the Hashiras in this arc. In this arc specifically, I feel like this is the only time that Demon Slayer should have won, because it showed off every single Hashira. It showed off their unique qualities and why they are Hashira and what they do because they're a Hashira and things of that nature. This is probably the one time Demon Slayer should have won. Delicious in Dungeon, again, the characters are bland. Bro, Laos, come on, bro. He's just a blonde dude in some armor. Like Shinji is just a dwarf with some armor. The elf girl is just a girl with a staff and a robe on. Come on, like, hell no. Hell no, Delicious in Dungeon should have won that. And then Dandadan has some of the most unique art style, like, perseverance I've ever seen in an anime. Saeko should be unattractive to everybody, but they made her designed in a way that everybody is flirtatious for this old lady. I find that amazing. I lust over Saeko every time I see her on the screen. You see that one thumbnail I did? You know the one. I'm just saying, bro. I can't get enough of their character design. The design Ira pretty good. The way that they're doing Gigi in the season that this is and the next, Momo looks great. Every time that she changes outfits. When do characters do that? Never. I like, Momo changing her outfits into some great girly girl stuff. Okurun being Okurun, he's a nerd. He's not gonna change his outfits that much, but he changes his hairstyle so crazily every time he transforms. I mean, even the puffy afro he had that one time was pretty good. And then the demons, the way they're portrayed, that crab that had multiple things coming out of it. I mean, Turbo Granny, the silky dancing lady, I can't go too much into it because if you haven't seen Dananan, you need to go see Dananan because it has the best character design, and I'm that's not a debate. What'd you expect? I mean, I don't even think I for real need to even talk about this as much as if you guys want me to. It's Demon Slayer, bro. It's Demon Slayer. The only thing that could have beat it was Solo Leveling, but let's think about it. This is Solo Leveling season 1, not season 2. If it was season 2, now we gotta think a little bit. Now we gotta go into our minds and say, did it really deserve that? But I don't think that this is really like where Solo Leveling could have won. Kaiju number 8 was like kind of up there, but nothing's gonna beat Demon Slayer when it comes to animation. Anime series should have gone to 99. I'm not gonna lie to you. Any of these choices on this list could have been what it could have gone to. Frieren probably should have won, if I'm being 100% honest. If any of these shows would have won, I don't think I would have been that mad. I don't know, bro. Solo Leveling winning this one is a little weird to me because season 2 is when really things got great. You know, season 1 was good, but season 2 was great. And we're thinking about in terms of season 1 Solo Leveling, bro. Dananan was better. Delicious in Dungeon was better. Frieren was better. Kaiju number 8 was probably equal terms with it. And I haven't gotten to the Apothecary Diaries enough to really know how great it is. So you got me on this one. I don't think Solo Leveling should have won this one right here, but I don't know. Best continuing anime series, I don't know. This is probably the One Piece award to me. I feel like every single time this award is giving out and One Piece is one of the people that are into it, I don't know. It feels like if you don't like One Piece, you haven't seen One Piece. And for the people that are saying, oh, One Piece is too long, I want every single one of my shows to be never ending like One Piece is, as long as it keeps the same values and is able to actually keep me into the story as much as One Piece has. You know, because One Piece right now, GOAT. It's some GOAT shit. I don't know. It's something about One Piece that is really good, and it's hard to really say that it's not. Like I said earlier, Oshinoko getting a second season as fast as it did, that's legendary. My Hero, people love to hate on My Hero, but this is a good award that it could have won too. You know, over One Piece, over My Hero, over Bleach, over Oshinoko, over Spy X Family. Do I think Spy X Family out of all those things should have won? No, but I definitely don't think Demon Slayer should have won either. I think One Piece is probably my number 1. Bleach is my number 2. My Hero is my number 3. Then Oshinoko is my number 4. I love all of these anime, I will tell you that. But I say that I love it as much as I do. I have not seen Bleach 1000-Year Blood War. I have seen enough Bleach, but not enough of that one. I did watch My Hero, and I did watch I caught up to One Piece at this point, and I caught up to Demon Slayer, and I just don't think Demon Slayer should have won this one. Animation, it got that in the bag. It got that in this Duffy. It's like Steph Curry. Green. I don't know. It's just, that's something that Demon Slayer is known for, and it always will be. It always will have the best animation, I'm sorry. But in terms of the best continuing anime series, as long as One Piece is going, One Piece should win. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. And if it is not going to win, My Hero should have won. I'm not gonna lie to you. Global Impact Award, Attack on Titan, the final chapters. I feel like you'd be living under a rock if you didn't know about Attack on Titan, at least season 1 by now. But the final season of Attack on Titan made people just anime fans. It made people come back to anime and see the final season, just for them to delay it to hell. But it got delayed and delayed and delayed. But I guarantee you, when it finished, everybody was still there. And it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to keep going with a show like that and for it to do what it did. But if there's anything that made a global impact, Attack on Titan is one of those shows that did that. Saw a sneak peek of this anime film of the year. I also talked about it. There is no other film that deserves this. I I would love to say one of these other films really deserved it. I mean, The Colors Within was really good. My Hero was really good. I won't lie to you, they're always good. Mononoke, it wasn't as good as Look Back. None of these were. Haikyuu, come on, it's literally dumpster in the title. I don't write the rules. I just look at the shows, and for all of these ones that I looked at, Look Back made me drop a video when the others didn't. That's all I'm gonna say. Look Back was so inspirational. It was so emotional. It was so dramatic. It was so everything in a book. The animation was up there. The drama was up there. I mean, every single thing about Look Back was crazy, and I wouldn't take it. The only reason I would want this erased from my memory is just so I could go watch it again. I honestly, and that's how I feel about it. I don't care what you feel about it. That's how I feel about it, you know? And people had a big gripe about this, and I kind of do too, only because I have the knowledge that it's season 1. Season 1, it should have lost to Frieren. Look, I don't make the rules, like I said, bro. It should have lost to Frieren. The Apothecary Diaries is pretty good from where I'm at. I don't think it should have won Anime of the Year, though. Anime of the Year? I don't know if I'm that deep for me to say it's Anime of the Year yet. I don't know. Maybe in season 2 it might be good enough to say anime. Not right now though. Not right now. Not right now. It's not enough of Dandadan for me to really put it on Anime of the Year status. You know, as a joke, I can say it's Anime of the Year, but as a real life thing, not really that. Listen, Dungeon, probably since it's completed, I don't know, but Frieren, Kaiju number 8 was really damn good. You know, from beginning to end, it made me really feel for Hebe no Kafka, and I just don't know. It's something about having a super old main character that makes you look at the world differently. You know, making you look at the world through an adult's eyes versus through a teenager like Natsu or Luffy or Naruto, or like even Goku was a teenager for a good moment of Dragon Ball Z Kai, and we normally get to see through the eyes of teenagers. We never really get to see through the eyes of grown adults, you know? And for the point of view from Hebe no Kafka, it made it feel different for me. It wasn't like any other anime, and I really love that. I love when they have a main character that's super old, because it feels like there's a different viewpoint that these directors and these mangaka tend to go in. They don't go in the same direction they do with teenagers. I don't know if it's because they feel like having a kid as a main character really holds you back. I don't know what it is, but it felt like Kaiju number 8. I don't know if it deserved Anime of the Year, but Kaiju number 8 was probably above most of these anime in terms of Anime of the Year. But Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, the journey of this elf and her party, it was different. I don't think there's anything that I could say more than that to make you believe that Frieren should have won this, especially over Solo Leveling Season 1. I don't think Solo Leveling Season 1 was that great. You know, Season 2 was great, but Season 1? Not over Frieren. I don't think it was over Frieren. I can't be mad here because Frieren did win a lot of the awards that it probably shouldn't have had, and it probably should have had, but this is the one that I thought Frieren was a shoo-in over, especially Solo Leveling Season 1. If it was Season 2, I could understand the popularity blowing Frieren out of the water and you like choosing Season 2. But Season 1? Nah, gang. It's not there for me to put it over Frieren. I don't put it over Kaiju number 8, but I damn sure do not put it over Frieren. Like, when it comes to Solo Leveling versus Kaiju number 8, Season 1 versus Season 1, they matched, and I'm like, oh, hell no, Kaiju number 8 takes that. Like, it's generic. It made it feel like Attack on Titan plot in the Kaiju number 8, but it set itself apart so far that I don't think I can relate it to the Kaiju number 8 anymore. I felt like it was an Attack on Titan clone when I first watched it. That's my serious thoughts on the matter. Like, I really thought it was like an Attack on Titan clone. The more I watched it, the more I grew for it, and when that ending came, I was pissed. I was breaking shit. But Frieren, bro, I didn't even watch Frieren weekly. I watched it when it was all wrapped up, and it was an emotional tilter that I had never seen before, bro. Like I said, we didn't know anything about Frieren, but when she was crying at that funeral, people were crying, bro. I wasn't, but some people were, and it's hard to really make you gravitate towards a character that you don't even know yet. You don't even know why she's crying. You barely saw anything, but here you are, tears in your lap. And the more that the story really develops, whether it be with Fern and Stark or whether it be with her reminiscing about the times in the past and the moments that she could have did something else, but she didn't and she regrets that, it's something about that that hits differently, and you won't see that kind of thing unless it's made in a newer show. You will never see that again unless this show gets to season 2, which most likely will, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you won't see that kind of stuff in any other anime. Like I said, with Kaiju number 8, it has a main character that's older, but he doesn't have any memories of his friends dying yet, you know, to my knowledge at least. He doesn't have friends that have lived 100 years ago. He watched them age and get bald with a cane and their health decline, and making promises with them in 100 years because you don't understand that in 100 years, you're gonna be a feeble old raisin and you're gonna watch them die. Like, it's something about Frieren that was so far ahead of the curve. And in terms of Frieren versus Soul Leveling, they match up, man. Frieren knocks that man over, picks him up, choke slams him, picks him up again, throws him on his head, stomps his head into the curb, and keeps on walking. Like, come on. Like, I don't think Frieren should have lost here, bruh. And I don't know. It's just something about it that makes you think differently. And I'm not angry about it. I mean, Soul Leveling winning because of season 2's hype is why I feel like Soul Leveling won here. In terms of season 1, it's nowhere near Frieren, but I don't know, guys. Like I said early in the video, I'm still sick, by the way. I did not lose my sickness through the video. I know I had a lot of energy, but I'm gonna go sleep on the couch for a hot minute. But that's besides the point. We know with Crunchyroll Awards, the most popular thing that's in the award is something that's gonna get picked. And with this, like I feel like in this video, I didn't really have a gripe with most of the things that won there. You know, maybe the Sayaka one where I was just joking, I really felt the gripe. But at the same time, other than Anime of the Year and a few other ones, I don't think I really had a problem with how these were like won. With most of the anime that it really took a standing ovation in this, I don't think none of them really were bad. Or, I mean, obviously not bad, but I don't think none of them didn't deserve to win. And if anything was close, like with ReZero, I'm a ReZero fanboy. I love ReZero to the death do me part, but if Mushiko Tensei would have won, I would have been like, yeah. I would have been like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, and all of these feel the same way. It feels like there was 2 things or maybe one that was really close to the winner, and it could have been interchangeable with those 2, but the one that win, you're not mad at least I'm not. I'm not like, oh man, why did this win, bro? Oh, I mean, I could be, but the only thing that I'm really like that with is the Anime of the Year. Soul Leveling didn't deserve to win, but when you think about how Crunchyroll works normally, you understand it. You're not like shocked. You're not like, oh my God. No, you're like, yeah, you know, that's normally how Crunchyroll works. The most popular show wins, and that's really what happened. But how do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about everything that won here in the Crunchyroll Anime Awards? I feel like this is the first year that has been fair, or maybe it's just a lot of popular things spread amongst each other, and maybe it just felt like too many things were popular that people really didn't know what to choose from, and that made it seem more fair than it actually was. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen too much of the Apothecary Diaries. Maybe the Apothecary Diaries should have won a lot more than it did. You know, I did a Liwu Fufu. It's kind of like a choice decider thing where you choose this person and choose this person. And Mao Mao is the main character of the Apothecary Diaries, and people were saying that she was above like certain other people, like she was above Amelia and Subaru, or she was above like Edward, and I was like, what? That's fraudulent. There's no way that you think that at all. And then they were like, well, go watch the Apothecary Diaries and you'll figure out why we say that. Maybe there's something that I don't know. I can be honest, I can see my faults. I can see that I haven't seen that thing, so maybe that thing is really that good, you know? But every other second I'm getting into a coughing fit, so I feel like I really need to end this video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that little bell, hit all that shit again, and hit it a 3rd time, because you probably unsubscribed when you did that, and I don't like that, so you need to be subscribed, please. And other than that, I have nothing else to say, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me down in the comments, what do you feel about my decisions? What do you feel about my choices? What do you feel about me? Leave hate comments in there. I don't care. As long as you subscribe and like the video first, hey, hey, do what you want. Do what you want. And other than that, I have nothing else to say, but thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. In peace.